This week on Lip 'em and Rip 'em.
Right now we're going to be top lining some stick baits for some lake trout, hopefully, maybe some brown trout.
Beautiful Mackinaw, great fish.
You know, if you would have told me 20 years ago that I would have been fishing with Sammy Hagar's son, Aaron Hagar, I wouldn't have believed you.
Hold on tight.
Like right now, she can be like Stevie Nicks and a Diaphonesia Scown singing Belladonna at the candlelight. Snap of her fingers, she can turn into Godzilla going through downtown Tokyo with the pesky little toenails getting stuck in them high voltage electric wires.
Guessing out, ripping lips, film jig, watching hits, slow speed, so the deep, hear it whine, grab the line, heart starts to pump and start to motor body, reel it in, measure lips the feeling, let it go, I'll see you again, yes I'll see you again. I'll catch you later. Hey, Lefty, turn this boat around. It was how big? Oh, man, now that's a fish story.
Lip 'em and Rip 'em is sponsored in part by Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter. Broyhill, when only perfection will do. And by Double R Drywall, over 25 years experience. Quality with lasting impression.
This week we come out to Sierra Nevadas, right on the border between California and Nevada. Lake Tahoe, just beautiful. This lake is humongous. 22 miles long, 12 miles wide, over 1,600 feet deep, just gorgeous. This lake is a geological wonder. Both volcanic and seismological activity created a dam that dammed it up right around the dinosaur period. The whole lake is just surrounded by mountains, so anywhere you look you see snow-capped mountains. You can actually see the ski resort. That lake is so big that you got to be real careful on what you do and you know when to get on and when to get off. So we tried to go early. Tuesday morning is about 7 a.m. Turns out the lake was beautiful. It had a little bit of a chop to it, was what we needed. Steve Foley we met up with loves to fish. He was real excited to get out there. He's real excited to try different techniques. He's a master at using downriggers. He just takes care of everything that you need on the boat.
Well, we were really excited this first morning out. We started out with just a ripple on the water, got the boats launched, and got our gear ready.
You let out 350 feet on this?
Yeah, the water's so clear up here. We go quite a ways back when we're top lining.
Watching him run these long lines, I mean, I about freaked out when he said, you know, let that out 400 feet. And the reason is that this water is so clear, it's like gin clear, that these fish can see a long ways away. I usually only let out maybe 100 feet of line. And it's 400 feet back and you hook a fish. I mean, it takes you a while to bring it in.
The last two we just picked up, one was at 350 and one was at 400.
Really?
Yeah. And then tie on a nice rainbow and the trophy stick.
A bit of the stinky stuff.
And a little Procure. My favorite flavor, trophy trout.
So running these Jake's trophy sticks, what size?
We got the
bigger
trophy sticks. This morning we're running the 6.5s, and he has 3 flavors.
Yeah, we have 3 patterns right now. We have a baby bow, and that's our rainbow trout. So a lot of big fish like to eat on the rainbow trout, and especially the planter size ones. And a lot of times when they plant these rainbow trout, a lot of the big brown trout and big Mackinaw and big predatorial species will come in and eat where they're being planted. Second, we came up with the silver platter, which is the silver kokanee or anchovy version, which can be used as an anchovy or sardine or a kokanee or a little salmon, and does well in clear waters and big lakes like Tahoe. Third pattern is the tui chub, which is a native fish to California. It's the most dominant species from here to Oregon. They're everywhere. Favorite food for a lot of predatorial species of fish. These are working really well for us right now.
That's Jake. He's got the trophy sticks out. He just started business here about 6 months ago. These are great stick baits. We've been catching lots of trophy fish on these.
So generally in the morning you'll start off, I mean, this is considered shallow, 33 feet of water.
Yeah, we like to go shallower, you know, right up next to the rocks actually.
Well, how much of this is actually sandy bottom?
90% of this lake is a sandy bottom.
90?
Yeah. So the structure's few and far between. So when you do find it, generally you're going to have some bait fish holding in that structure, and the bigger fish around the outside, some dads. And I'm a believer in the bigger lure, the bigger fish.
Yeah, I am too.
California state record's out of this lake, and I believe it's 37 and change. 1974, so it's been a while. It's time to be broken. Yeah, it's turning out to be a nice morning. Thought it would be.
So Tahoe's mainly known for as a lake trout fishery, huh?
It's a tremendous Mackinaw fishery, huge amount of Mackinaw in this lake. Predominant species in the lake are the lake trout, brown trout, rainbow trout, and your kokanee, landlocked salmon. Of course, they occupy the deep water,
right,
and they'll come up into the shallows to feed. But mainly they stay deep, and smaller fish will stay deeper and feed on the mysis shrimp that were introduced to the lake back in the 60s. But we will get these bigger fish coming up this time of the year now, springtime, coming up into the shallows. And
searching for the kokanees.
And the type of, you bet, the big fish that are big enough to eat those 12, 14-inch kokanees and just stack them like cigars in their belly. Yeah.
So there's brown trout, rainbow trout,
and
lake trout.
Lakers, yeah, and kokanee.
The kokanees
are your four main species.
We saw a sign coming down that said it had whitefish too.
Maybe whitefish. I've never caught one out of here. I know they're abundant in a lot of the creeks and streams around here, so yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
You know, we fished over at Meeks Bay. That's a lot of rock structure, and the lake has about 90% of sandy bottom, and there's no places for fish to hide and ambush their prey. So we tried to fish along the rocks, and you have to stay 100 yards from any of the tributaries that are coming down into the lake, whether it be a waterfall, a little creek, a stream, because when the fish are spawning, they want to try to protect them. It was really neat to watch these guys navigate through the rocks. I mean, you look down, and I could have swore it was only 8 feet deep, but you were actually in 50 feet of water, and you could see the bottom. These boulders are just huge. You know, it'll tear a prop up pretty quick, but these guys knew exactly what they were doing, and it was just amazing to watch them.
All right, got a brown on, I think. It's fighting like a brown. Running about 15, 20 feet of water here in Meeks Bay at Tahoe. Meeks Bay is a known place for shallow fishing. It's rocky and has great structure to it. Tasty tui chub, trophy stick on, 4.5 inch, running about 200 feet behind the boat. He's going deep. He might be 10 pounds. You don't want to come in there. We're getting a lot of good reports out here on Tahoe with these trophy sticks. We got a guy who in the last 5 outings caught a 10-pounder.
A bit more than we are.
Did you get it on a little one or a bigger one?
Tasty tui chub, 4.5 inch.
Jake, you and I are going to become best friends with these lures. Good northern baits.
Beautiful fish for Lake Tahoe. We're going to put this one back. Great fish. There she goes. Beautiful Mackinaw. And that's how it's done.
You were telling me earlier you've been running Steve's Fishing Supplies for what, 4 years now?
Coming up on 4 years here, yep, in June, couple months.
So it just gets bigger and better every time?
Slowly but surely. We're getting close.
You're getting real close.
StevesFishingSupplies.com. I started this business 4 years ago, and it's been growing steadily year by year. I think it takes 5 years to grow a business, so I'm getting there. But it's a fun business. Everyone wants to do something that they like for money and work in a field where they're happy. I sort of thought, well, heck, I like computers, I like fishing, so why not sell fishing tackle on the web? It's just me, myself, and I run the whole deal. So if you do call to order some tackle, you'll be talking to Steve, not the little gal with a headset who doesn't know anything about what you would like to order. Keys to my business and my success and continued success is having that customer contact and able to talk fishing with them.
What kind of tackle do you mainly, I mean, is it everything?
I have A to Z. I go from, little trout lures to big 7-strand saltwater tuna lures. So we got a little bit of everything, and you know, if you don't see it on the website, give me a call.
You get it?
You bet.
Rods, reels, line, very nice.
I think it was just a fabulous opportunity, you know, that Shannon could get out here to Lake Tahoe and check out the second deepest alpine lake, you know, in the United States for some good action. The water's one of a kind. Listening to him talk about it made me realize, you know, what a neat place I live in, and that I get to fish this lake, you know, quite often. Continued enough top line bite sort of went away, as it does here sometimes, and then the wind gods started talking to us. It's time to get off Lake Tahoe when they start talking.
It'd be easy to ride the waves back to where we came from here, but if it gets worse and worse, you never know. Should we head back to Cave Rock and fish that?
It's going to be nasty over there too.
Yeah, this is going to get worse over here, I think, though, if the wind's coming from here.
Yeah, it's nasty. Going that way, it's going to just keep getting nasty.